to Meanwhile in the Falklands, episode 124, I think it is this week.
It is, and we're still in line with the show weeks.
Yes. And guess what, listener? It's Thursday afternoon. We are so on top of things this week. It's quite scary that we're so organised. Everything's going so well. The programme's exporting.
We hope.
Yeah, the news roundup is done.
It's sorted, yeah.
We're on top of it, aren't we?
We're just superhuman this week.
We need to reward ourselves with ice cream.
That's a good idea.
Office ice cream for this week.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Before we get on to what's on the programme this week, eagle-eyed viewers will notice there's an extra head on the sofa this week.
I didn't spot that when I was
Did you not spot it?
When I was I didn't see this.
This is all down to Mark Blackmore, who's one of the journalists at Penguin News, who mentioned in his column last week how much he loves FITV, and we love you too, Mark. So in his column, he said that he dreams about popping up behind us on the sofa, and when we say, hello, I'm Oliver Thompson, I'm Paula Foams, he dreams of saying, and I'm Mark Blackmore. So, you know.
There is also some other bits in his column, like he also dreams of licking the sofa.
Yeah, he didn't do that. Or sniffing my hair.
Oh, that's
no,
what you didn't see
do
that.
But he did do them bits, but it was his dream was come true for one of the bits.
Yeah, look at us. Yeah. We're like fairy godmothers, aren't we?
Yeah, we make dreams come true
we
here
do.
at FITV. Mark, you're welcome.
Yeah. So, yes, so that's what you'll see in this week's programme. Towards the end, I think, and then there's some outtakes as well at the very end. Also, what you'll notice in the programme is that I can't pronounce Darwin Harbour Sports properly. So we go into the break with Darwin Harbour Sports.
Yes, we do, which I noticed as I was editing. I thought, that's not
I have to say, it's
right.
not the first time that's happened.
Is it not?
No. I seem to remember almost every year. It's an annual occurrence
But
that
how
I have.
do you get from Darwin Harbour Sports to
Darwin
Darwin Harbour Sports? I'd understand
No.
maybe
to be
Harwin Darbour Sports.
Darwin Harbour Sports is swinnerism, yeah?
to be fair, we always have a word that we can't say. I've had quite a few.
Mine's usually legislative. What's yours?
Mine was Timothée Chalamet.
That's
the actor.
Still wrong, I think.
Probably, but
We've never said that on FITV.
No, we did, because for the What Song Guide, because Kyle, who was previously here, he was laughing really funnily, and then he realised I really was struggling to say it. So he wrote on a sheet of paper, like, the word for word on how to say it.
Phonetically,
That's the word, phonetically. And it's on my board up there as a memory that I couldn't say. Because I was thinking of Charlemagne, the king, and I kept saying him instead of Charlemagne.
I think, was it before Christmas, we had an issue with Celestial, didn't we, Ollie?
You both did,
Celestial.
and yourself with Phenomenon.
You had the issue with Celestial, and then I said, I'll say Celestial, and then I said Phenomenon wrong, and then we both started laughing so much that then I also couldn't say Celestial, and it was a bit of a mess.
There's always a one word. There's always one word. Yeah. So this week, as I say, it's only Thursday, but we're like all on top of it for you, listener. You've had short-back bowls this week, Oliver. Something phenomenal is happening in that, isn't it?
Yes, so it's awesome. I love it because
bit of sports for you, Stephen. Just to still listening with us.
It's the National Bowls Championship for the second year running, which is quite one of the newest sports in the island. And a lot of my life at the moment is FITV followed by bowls. So I've been working quite hard on both sides, and I've now made it into the finals, which is later on today of Thursday. Which I didn't expect to get into, but you've just got to plug along and just carry on and just get yourself in the mode.
Are you going to be taking part in the under-25s?
Oh no! Here we go. Can we go?
Your little
pretty
face.
upset. Pretty upset about
Your
that.
little face.
So what happened, listener? If you're, my voice is quite monotone now because I'm still upset. But the manager or the chairman of the Bowls came into the office with a twinkle in his eye and was like, "Hey, Oliver, do you want to play in the World Under-25 Bowls team in 2 years' time to represent the Falklands?" And in my head, I was like, "Oh yes, get in! I can actually represent the Falklands and be, international bowl star." But yeah, I'm over 25. I'm now 26 years old. Not great.
Shame.
So
shame.
But hey ho.
So that's the little bit of sport this week, because I don't think we've got a lot of other sport going on.
Well, there is the table tennis championships on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
It's been International Women's Day. The Falklands government did a reception on Monday. That was very, very well attended.
Oh, was it? Because you went along, didn't you?
Yeah, I went along. Just fantastic. The food at the Malvina, they did a buffet and it was gorgeous. And then in groups of 50, they went up to the cinema to watch this new film that Falklands government have put together for International Women's Day, which was made by Ollie Dempster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun little film.
Yeah, it's a nice little film. Some nice, good shots in there actually.
Yeah. And there's the cutest little girl that at the start, she's like, oh, they're talking about what they want to be when they grow up, and this little girl goes, I want to be an astronaut and a ballerina and a dancer and a ninja.
Rock star.
Yeah, she had like this whole list of like 5 different things she wanted to be, but at the end she was like, and a ninja.
Excellent. That's what we all need to do. You need to watch the film. It's on YouTube. Watch to the very, very, very end. That's all I'll say, because there is a fantastic little section where they're in the stone corral and one of the rainbows picks up some dried horse poo and throws it at someone. And then one of the guide leaders has to say, no throwing horse poo, please.
Well, I think if you notice with our teaberry shots that we got the other day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice link there, look.
Oh, yeah. If you had kept the sound on, in the background of one of them, you may have heard me scream and then say, Hannah, stop throwing horse poo at me. So it doesn't matter whether you're a 5-year-old or a 25-year-old or 28-year-old, however old Hannah is, you're still going to pick up horse poo and throw it.
So it was a gorgeous, gorgeous week last week. We had some really, really nice weather. Of course, it's slap bang in the middle of the teaberry picking season. So we all went off to, well, you didn't, Ollie, but everyone else did, down to pick up some teaberries down near Figas, I think it was. We took... Tiffany May down there.
Yes, our teaberry expert.
Our local teaberry expert. I put that piece together, expecting there to be some lovely ambient sound on it, because there was not a breath of air. And all I can hear is you guys just spoiling my ambient noise. Discussing rubbish stuff.
And some of the shots I know we were talking about.
Throwing poo.
We did say, we keep talking over this is going to ruin Paula's sound.
Yes,
so
and
we were aware, but we just kept doing it. We wanted to have a little gossip. We were enjoying it.
I know. I was listening to the ambient sound.
Did you find out anything interesting?
I did actually. Yeah, not for this podcast though. But lovely little thing there. We made some teaberry ice cream, which was very, very nice, and also some teaberry buns. Hazel's very keen to make some teaberry vodka, so that's her next.
If she needs a taster,
I was going to say, I'll come over and
we can have two. Yeah, two tasters.
I think it takes some while to do it. If it's anything like making damson gin, which I've done in the past,
you have to brew it for a while.
You have to brew it for a little while.
But I mean, I wasn't there for the teaberry picking, but it seems to be I have driven around that area and I've seen people picking up teaberries.
Bums in the air.
That's the one. But
Bums in the air.
Why are teaberries so special here? I mean,
They're just gorgeous. Have you not tasted any?
I had I looked at the start bit. I had one of them red berries.
Diddle-dee, diddle-dee, completely different. You don't want to eat them.
Oops.
They're quite bitter.
Did you eat a mountain berry because they're poisonous?
Well, no, but anyway, I'm okay now. But yeah, in terms of the teaberry, I haven't.
Teaberry's lovely. Not only do they look like candy floss, I think they taste like candy floss and vanilla-y. They're really, really, really nice. In fact, we might have to, after this, go and drive somewhere and go and get you some teaberries.
Well, we are ahead, so we've got the time.
We have, haven't we? Yeah. Yeah. So that was teaberry's teaberry picking piece on this week. We've also got Renata back. She's lovely. Yeah. Making something for Mother's Day, because we really wanted to do something for Mother's Day because it's Sunday on Sunday, and make a bit of a Valerie Singleton. And yes, listener, I did have to tell everyone who Valerie Singleton was, but get somebody to do that and make something. So she's making a heart thing out of some wool.
Although,
like
after taking part in the helping you create this is the one we made earlier piece, I am fully ready for a career at Blue Peter. So if Blue Peter want to snap me up, I am willing.
Katharyn's your woman, yeah. She'll be your new Valerie Singleton.
But then it was great because then covered in PVA glue, and I went back to my desk and I thought I could go and wash the PVA glue off my hands and carry on with my work, or I could sit here for 20 minutes, do nothing, wait for it to dry, and then peel it
I
off
used
like
to
I was in
love
primary
that.
school again.
That was
So obviously, Paula, don't listen to this part. I took the second option.
I used to love that. That was the best thing about like D&T in my class. I used to love that.
Do you
bit.
know when Renata was here, because her mum was with her, when she got to the point where she needed to go and wash her hands, her mother helped her, and but her mother was sort of saying, instead of washing it off, you could just leave it to dry and then pick it off, because that's what we used to do when we were at school.
Just awesome, isn't it?
So everyone's done it.
Yes.
Everyone's done it.
It's fantastic.
Katharyn is in the middle of collecting people for a camp education history
Yes.
piece.
Yeah, that's fun.
Is
So
that going all right?
Yeah, I've interviewed the current camp manager, Eliza Jarvis, about the celebrations for the 125th anniversary, because they're like collecting people's memories about camp education for a book they're putting together, and they're also having an open house at Stanley House at the end of March, so that's quite fun. And then also about what camp education looks like now, and then I'm also speaking to a few former camp teachers about what camp education was like in their day when they were travelling teachers and going around the West. And I'm hoping to find some former camp education kids to see their views on how they felt about the teachers turning up every few weeks.
So,
yeah, very
listener, if you're having listened to this and thinking, what on earth are we talking about? Basically, anything outside of Stanley is called camp. So it's the rest of the Falkland Islands, really. And they have travelling teachers, as they do. What do they call them in Australia? Do they call them a bush teacher or something?
I don't know.
I don't know, but basically they're travelling teachers that
'cause
goes to each settlement.
Yeah, so the settlements are obviously quite spread out, and if you've got sort of a random child in one settlement and then the other side of the island's another child, they're not going to be able to travel in for school. So, yeah, the teachers travel to the pupils, which is really
then,
fun.
of course, when they get to secondary school, they have to come into town and they stay in the boarding house, which is called Stanley House. It's right on the front. So they stay there as well.
Yeah, so they can attend secondary school in Stanley before going off to the UK for college.
Yeah. So you were out on Tuesday, Ollie, weren't you? You and Tom went off to Goose Green.
Yeah, so we went to Goose Green, the second settlement in the Falklands, as they say, and that was for the dog trials, which was pretty good to cover and to have a look. Because we last time FITV did it was what
long time ago.
was with a former FITV member, Sophie Dawson. I can't remember the three that went to it.
Paul Zeller, Glenn College, and I think all three of them went. They spent a few days there.
Well, that was the last time we ever did it, so we went along not knowing anything about it or how it all worked. And it was one of those pieces where, and I absolutely love this kind of piece, where you literally just dropped in, you have no idea what's going on, and then you just have to ask and just talk to people about it. And the fortunate thing, everyone's quite passionate there about dog trials, so it's quite easy to make a story and understand it a bit more.
I don't know why we miss it each year. I really don't. So it's great that we've covered it properly this year again.
But it was just, interesting to see, because the Goose Green trials, there's also a West trials as well.
Yeah.
And then they have a grand finale in August. I'm getting involved in it myself. They have a grand finale in August where East meets West.
Yeah.
And have the overall Falklands champion.
Yeah.
And the overall Falklands champion can, depending on COVID, go worldwide and compete worldwide. So it's just interesting. I love it. It's quite interesting. I got involved in it. And,
quite interesting.
And a good thing as well is the magic of Facebook. You can they have a Facebook page, and you can have a look at previous winners as well. So you can go down to 2005 and see all the previous winners. So it's quite good to see, really, and all the history of that.
Oh, that does sound good.
If you fancy branching out from bowls and getting involved in dog trials, Ollie, I won't complain at there being an FITV dog in the house.
We do need a dog.
Feel free to start taking part in the dog trials, Ollie, and I'll help look after the dog.
So,
sounds like a plan.
Friend of FITV, Tom Busbridge, his dog Lara's just had some puppies, and she had a scan several weeks ago, and they knew she was having 5.
Yeah.
Knew she was having 5. The 6th one arrived, and then it all went quiet on Facebook, didn't it? And then Tom posted that another one had appeared, so she's had 7 puppies. How she managed to tuck those 7 puppies?
God knows.
Because she's quite a little soul, isn't she?
But it's so sweet because on Facebook he'd put a picture of her, and then he was updating people on things. I kept going on his profile. I was like, what's the latest news? What's the latest? So that was quite fun this morning.
You should have Facebook lived it, really.
Yeah,
that would have been fun, wouldn't it? So hopefully when the puppies are a little bit older, we can take the FITV podcast and go do it surrounded by
with the puppies. We've got to do that.
Yes.
We've got to do that.
Tom, if you're listening, we will be in your house in a few weeks.
Ollie was at the Chamber of Commerce, or CHOC, as we like to call it here, on Wednesday evening for the public meeting with the Royal Falkland Islands Police. Not particularly well attended, then, you said?
No, it wasn't well attended, but I suppose that means the police are seemingly doing a good job. If there's nothing for people or the public to go and scrutinise the panel.
Nice
or
positive
talk to
spin
the
on
police.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
indeed.
so
Ollie's got his PR head on.
Yeah. I just loved where you came back and I said, what did they talk about? And you listed about 3 or 4 things off that we've covered already.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we did that 2 weeks ago and we did that a week ago and we did that already. So, yeah, we're right on top of the police, aren't we?
yeah, I mean, like I say, they seem to be doing a good job and they're very media savvy, so they're happy to talk about the different updates in the police. But again, like I say, the fact that it wasn't as well attended just means there's not more. I mean, there were a few people that made a few comments, but it just doesn't mean that the police are doing a good job, I reckon.
Yeah. You came in this morning and you said, ask me about Ollie's history hit.
I've still not seen the evidence for this, Ollie, and so I'm still not believing you until I see the evidence.
Okay, go for it. What is it all about?
So, History Hit is they self-proclaim it is the Netflix of history documentaries. So I'm a loyal subscriber and I absolutely love history pieces.
Is it Dan Snow that?
Yeah, so one of my favourite historians by far, Dan Snow, was doing a piece and did his piece on the Falklands. And they sent me an email this morning to say, we've loved the history piece that you've done on FITV. Here is a free subscription.
Oh, wow.
So I got a free subscription there, and there is potential as well for FITV to put some history pieces up there.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's a conversation to have in a later date, but it was just quite interesting just how it was how they've seen the pieces on FITV
so
on
this
YouTube.
ties then neatly on with you going out to the waterfront and somebody asking you for a selfie because they'd seen you on YouTube, and now in the office, listener, when he walks in, we go, are you the Ollie Thompson? Sorry, listener, I've now got the Oliver Thompson, and we are in the car. I just had a phone call from someone to see if I can go and pick them up, so I'm going to go and pick up my daughter.
I was waiting for the red carpet to be rolled out, but anyway, we'll have
So who is this person then who spotted you?
So I think what happens is people quarantine. A lot of people that arrive here go to quarantine in the Malvina, and in terms of quarantining, people are on TV watching TV things, and obviously they must have just seen FITV and then just obviously I've been on it quite a bit, and they must have just gone on and just been like, oh, that's you.
That's you. Oh, wow.
But it's the same with the Tylers as well, with the swimming pool that we were doing. One of the Tylers wanted a selfie as well, so it's just one of those, isn't it? But like I say, it's just.
So does that mean you're an influencer now?
No, I don't think
so. Get free stuff.
I mean, I could try, no, but I don't think so. But yeah, good idea. But if anyone wants to give us free stuff, then
just send it. FITV, Falkland Islands. That's all you need to do.
Any drone stuff, particularly, that would be favourable.
That's what you want. Anyway, so we're driving along the bypass now. It's a really beautiful day. It's cleared up amazingly. It was chucking it down with snow and sleet earlier. The alarm went off in the car to say it had gone below 3 degrees.
Wow. But it's quite, we have mentioned it quite a few times, but it's quite crazy how the weather, you can have all 4 seasons in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And when we went down to Goose Green on the other day, it was windy, it was wet, it was horrible. We still managed to get the good footage of it. But yeah, then now it's absolutely gorgeous.
Every time you called me on your way back, I would answer the phone with, are you in a ditch? Have you come off the road?
Literally, not even a hello. It was straight away, are you in a ditch? I was like, no, we're all right, we're fine. I didn't even have to respond. Yeah, it was quite funny. It was just one of those, but yeah. But it just shows that Paul is caring for us as we drive along the MPA road, because it is quite a dangerous road.
It is a dangerous road, yeah. Hang on, let me just turn this corner. Okay, there we go. So I think that sums up the week so far, really. I think we'll go back to the office now and have a cup of tea and a biscuit, if there's any left, because Katharyn, she eats a lot of snacks, doesn't she?
Absolutely, yeah, the
Seriously,
biscuit tin.
listener, you have a look in her drawer. She's as skinny as anything. You open her drawer, she's got biscuits and chocolate and everything in there. But you're not going to be with us. When are you off?
So I'm going away. Don't worry, listener. I'm coming back, but I'm only going away for 2 weeks. I'm going to Weddell Island, which is another part of the island trip.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited to see that for the
amazing colours in Weddell. Yeah. Sorry, you excited because
the Patagonian foxes.
Yes.
That's the only place where on River Island, but you can't get there, which is quite mad. It's River Island. It is actually an island with a river. It's not a shop. But yeah, it's. But yeah, they've got loads of Patagonian foxes on there, and that's something I want to see.
Yeah.
I am filming a bits and bobs, but the majority of it is a holiday, which is nice, just to sit on a deck chair with a cup of tea and just enjoy the scenery, you know.
Yeah. Now they had a leucistic penguin. It was a Gen 2 at Weddell, so it's one that sort of, if you're going to print, imagine, listener, if you print out a penguin and the ink cartridge is running out. It's that, so it's not albino, but it's they call it, was it leucistic?
Leucistic.
Yeah.
Well, we managed to get one on when I was at Pebble Island. Managed to take a picture of that and some video footage as well.
Yeah.
But it's an incredibly rare type of penguin. But also you've got at the same time there was someone that took a picture of that yellow penguin. Was it Antarctica?
King one. Yeah, it was a king, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if that was a proper albino king, maybe.
I don't know, but pretty rare. But I tried having a look online to see if there's anything on it, and there's not hardly any figures on the leucistic penguin.
Yeah.
In terms of how rare it is, people were saying it's 1 in every 20,000. People were saying 1 in over 100,000. So if you know what it is, listener, do get in contact.
Yeah, and apologies for how we're pronouncing that word as well. I guess we're pronouncing it wrong. We're just driving along this front road at the moment, past the Malvina House Hotel. A lot of people in town today. I don't know whether there had been a lot of people that have just come out of quarantine, so they're wandering around town, or
just having a look.
Having a look. Having said that, when I said there's a lot of people in town, we've just driven past 3 people. That's what it amounts to. 3 people who we don't recognise are walking down the street, so that's a lot. Constitutes a lot of people.
But I mean, it does get quite busy sometimes, especially in such a small community like Stanley. Because like when it was Goose Green and I was here, it was myself and Tom here on Saturday, just in Stanley. There was hardly anyone here.
Yeah.
Because everyone was obviously up at Goose Green at the time.
And half term, so everyone goes to the west.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking you into Stanley Services now and park up. We're going to get this cup of tea. I'm right looking forward to it now. Right looking forward to it. That's you, that's your accent.
Turn in Yorkshire. The Yorkshire dialect. That's, when in April I reckon I'll buy you a Yorkshire dictionary, and then we'll have a Yorkshire podcast.
We'll have a proper one. Anyway, listener, thank you very much for joining us this Thursday afternoon. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.